What is up, everyone out there in internet land? This is Animeman73 coming at you with a video commentary. As a Gen Xer, I've played many video games over the years. For this commentary, I'll be talking about a favorite gaming franchise of mine, Might and Magic. Incidentally, what you're seeing right now is gammadragon's speedrun of Might and Magic 7 for Blood and Honor. What you're hearing is the soundtrack for said game, composed, of course, by the legendary Paul Romero and Robert King. Credit where credit due, and it's appropriate considering the topic. I'll leave links to the speedrun and the soundtrack in the description below. Now, there will be additions to what is a compilation of 3 articles I wrote on the subject on Minds. I'll also leave links to said articles in the description below. And now for some disclaimers before I get to the commentary itself. First commentary, at times I will stutter, I will stammer, I will pause and trip over words, and pause to take breaths. This is because of my Asperger's syndrome. But understand, what I say comes from the heart and from an authentic place of love. The second disclaimer is this. In the event that John Van Connem, creator of the Might and Magic franchise, sees this video, please understand this. This video is not meant as any kind of personal attack on you or your family, sir. This is a product and company criticism. It is not meant as any kind of personal insult towards you, sir. And that's the end of the disclaimer. And now, on to the commentary. Now, for starters, how did I get into Might and Magic? Well, what really started me down that path was, I'd seen my brother play the first Might and Magic game, Secret of the Inner Sanctum, way back in 1986. But I didn't really get into it until I bought the RPG Archives game pack from the local shopping center known as Fred Meyer. And from that game pack I was introduced to Might and Magic 4, Clouds of Xeen, and Might and Magic 5, Dark Side of Xeen, which of course composed the World of Xeen story arc. After that, I got into Heroes of Might and Magic, starting with 1 to 3. I absolutely love those games. Great strategy games. I have played some of 4. I played 5 and 6. But I'll talk more about them later on. Now, I think for this commentary, it's time to I make it no secret that I'm going to be pointing out the problems and pointing out solutions. But before I get to those things, I think it's time to dispel some common misconceptions and doubts. Now, the first common misconception is it's Ubisoft's game, so they can do what they want with it. Yeah, that is true. Ubisoft does own the right to it, but this is an example of what's called a half-truth. And as an old saying goes, a half-truth is worse than a whole lie. As stated, Ubisoft does own the rights to the Might and Magic franchise. That said, the company had a responsibility to please and respect the established fan base. And I'll get to the call out later. But yeah, I got some things I want to say. I've got some things I want to say about Ubisoft. Don't worry, folks. Everything's going to be strictly family friendly. Now, here's another misconception that needs to be dispelled. This isn't for the old Might and Magic fans. This is for the new This is for the new ones. Car 54, where are you? That's comparable to the modern audience argument. And for the record, there is no modern audience. There's only the audience. That's simple common sense. If you want new fans to come to the game, here's what you do. Make a Might and Magic games to please the fan base that's already there. Please the old fans, then let them do the work. Why? Because it's a well-known fact. Gamers, especially in this age of the internet, they talk to each other online. If a game's good, they will talk to their fellow gamers, old and young. And make that good game, they will come. It's all you have to do is a little advertising, then let the gamers do the rest. That's respecting the gamers, and we gamers love it when you respect us. Now for the third, which is more of a doubt than anything else. Some would say, at least to me, you think you can create a better Might and Magic game? Well, on that count, in the name of transparency, I'm definitely going to be honest with you. I cannot program a computer or anything like that to save my life. Nope, I'm about as technologically savvy as one Leroy Jethro Gibbs from NCIS. But what I can do is write. By God, I'm very good at the craft of writing, and by God, I love what it is what I do. And truth told, I've actually created a storyline for the Might and Magic game I have in mind. I have it someplace safe, and I'll leave it in that safe place for now. And mind you, in my opinion, this story plan is better than Ubisoft, better than Sweet Baby Inc., Black Girl Gamers, or any activist or any activist in artisan clothing creation. Why? Well, I'm a very creative person, and also I believe in the idea of forget modern politics. It's all about creating memorable games with playability and replayability with good stories. The key is good storytelling with good characters. And it doesn't hurt that I have 74 short stories free to read on my Minds channel, along with my 2 serials, The Willowsbrook Chronicles and Clamness, and my patron tier fiction on my Minds channel. You'll find links to my work in my library and my Minds channel in the description below. I'm putting this out because, well, I want to back up my claim to being good. It's like my stepfather always said. There's a big difference between talking the talk and walking the walk, and I like the idea of backing up my talk with walk. Okay, now to the meat of the commentary. The major problems with the Might and Magic universe, specifically the Ancients universe and the Ashan universe. And yes, I admit, I want to make a Might and Magic game that combines the Ancients universe and the Ashan universe. The Ancient universe still has a ton of potential, in my opinion, and Ashan, having played Heroes of Might and Magic 5, I can definitely say Ashan has a very good, very solid foundation. Okay, granted, there were some plot holes and a few hiccups at the start of the game, but overall, Ashan has a lot of potential, which is why I want to make use of it. Alright, now, it's time to point out some of the problems in the Ancients universe, and some fixes for them. Now, the first major problem was environmental inconsistency and Bracada with Heroes of Might and Magic 3 and Might and Magic 7. Now, in Heroes 3, Bracada was portrayed as a land of evergreen, snow, and very, very, very cold. But in Might and Magic 7, it became a sweltering desert. Yeah. Environmental inconsistency there. So, how does this problem get solved? Well, I actually came up with a way that, well, fits into the lore of the universe. Because, well, gotta respect that lore. Since the Wizards of Bracada and the Necromancers of Deja are enemies, here's my idea. Have the Necromancers create a crystal that steals the life energy from Bracada and changes the environment of that region. Oh, dirty, I admit, but very effective. And considering that Might and Magic 7 has 2 endings, one good and one evil, here's the solutions I've come up with that fit into both. Well, for the Might and Magic 7 good ending, the energy draining crystal gets destroyed, and Bracada's life energy is returned, and all is well with the land. Now, for the Might and Magic 7 bad ending is this. Gavin Magnus, the eternal ruler of Bracada, through ethical and moral means, has a crystal full of life energy. Considering the fact that he's long-lived and a powerful source of good, it stands to reason that, well, he would take such a possibility into account and take precautions accordingly. So, in that case, Gavin Magnus would use that crystal to restore Bracada to what it was. Again, as I said, considering Gavin Magnus's long life, his experience would definitely make him take that possibility into consideration. Now, here's the second major problem with the Ancients universe: the unwarranted and unnecessary destruction of Enroth. Yeah, this one hit a lot of Might and Magic fans hard because, well, Enroth, it was actually a great world. Yeah, it had some problems, but nothing some creative writing couldn't fix. Now, here's the solution I came up with. The reckoning will still happen, but it can get used to provide some great stakes for the Might and Magic game I have in mind. And when I say stakes, I mean S-T-A-K-E-S, not S-T-E-A-K-S. Sorry. Had to go for a little wordplay there. Gotta have a little fun there. But anyway, now, here's the third major problem with the Ancients universe. When Axoth, the world that placed Enroth, for Heroes of Might and Magic 4 and Might and Magic 9 got released to the public, yeah, the world was only halfway done. Yeah, New World Computing and 3DO were going through bankruptcy at the time. And that begs the question, who the heck was in charge of the books for the companies at the time? And what did they spend their money on that caused them to go into such financial insolvency? Very interesting. Also, it's a simple matter of common sense that releasing a half-finished product to the public is very unwise. Okay, now with that out of the way, it's time to point out some of the problems in the Ashan universe. Now, for the note, pardon me if I go off on a bit of a rant here, folks. Let me make this clear. I am absolutely disgusted with the way Ubisoft has mismanaged the Might and Magic franchise since they bought it. They've treated it like it's just a cash cow, with no respect for the long and illustrious history of it. This is something that must change for the better, and something that I'd love to bring about, out of respect for the Might and Magic fans. Alright, now, problem number 1 for the Ashan universe. Now, as I said, while there were some plot holes and some hiccups in Heroes of Might and Magic 5, overall it was a very, very good universe that had a lot of great memorable characters and a great story. I really, really enjoyed it. So, keep Heroes of Might and Magic 5 lore. That's no problem. But yeah, having played Hero 6 and Might and Magic 10, I'm sorry, but most of the stuff in those games, it's gotta go. Here are a couple examples of that. Example number 1, the Faceless. This was a magical race that were incredibly overpowered, especially considering that they had a spell which wiped out an entire civilization from existence, the Shantiri Empire. Yeah, I'm sorry. A race that's able to snap their finger and tell something to be naught. That should be considered a quintessential cosmic no-no. And I can say, on that count, I subscribe to the David Eddings school of thinking. Incidentally, David Eddings being the author of the Belgariad and Malorian book series, fantasy series. I highly recommend it. But what David Eddings stated in his stories was this: such a spell that causes things to get wiped out of existence. What it should do is that, in an attempt to cast it, it should cause a magical backlash which destroys the caster. That's consequences, baby. Now, Disintegrate, on the other hand, yeah, that can be kept because, well, like fire magic, Disintegrate spell, all it really does is it breaks a target down to the molecular level. It changes it to its molecular level, and, well, in cases of living things, kills them. But likewise, a resurrection spell can resurrect a character if they're in the party. So yeah, it's simply changing something, thus staying in accord with the universal law, and that's fine. But a spell that snaps things out of existence and tells them to be not, thereby wiping out any knowledge and everything, that is an epic no-no. Now, here's the second problem. The characters in Hero 6 were... Yeah, the fact of matters is they were very unremarkable. In fact, in many cases, they made me nearly fall asleep. And if a character is one of those sorts of types that makes you fall asleep, that's not a good sign. Not only that, but the stories were rather disorganized and they were disorganized, careless, and all over the place. Again, not good. Now that said, I think that we should keep the Naga faction and the Lost Shantiri Empire while fixing their lore. Those were actually good. I actually have some great ideas on how to fix them. What those ideas are, I'll keep them on the hush-hush. While I will lay out some solutions to basic problems, I won't reveal everything. Why? Because as a good magician doesn't reveal all his tricks, a good writer doesn't reveal all his plans until it's time. But again, the Lost Shantiri Empire and the Nagas, they still have a lot of potential, so they're keepers. Now, the third major problem for the Ashan universe. Get rid of Heroes of Might and Magic 7 in full. Now, some say it's Might and Magic Heroes, but no. It's supposed to be Heroes of Might and Magic. I'm sorry if I'm a stickler for that, but that's the way I feel it should be, because I feel that title is the most appropriate. Now, what was the problem with Heroes of Might and Magic 7? Well, the game felt thrown together by someone who didn't care about the franchise at all. The story and the characters felt unremarkable. What is this? A Heroes of Might and Magic game? Or Ivan Griffin getting told bedtime stories by his nannies? I mean, Ivan Griffin is trying to stop a war, but in order to stop that war, he has to hear stories from his advisors. Really? 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 Not only that, but, well, the characters' animations are also an issue because, well, the animations make them look like Disney animatronics, the kind that were built by the lowest bidder at that. Talk about low effort, not good. Now, I do have some conditions for releasing my master plan for my Might and Magic game. These are rather simple requirements, and mind you, until any of them are met, my Might and Magic game idea will remain safely hidden away until such time as it's appropriate to bring it out. Now, these demands, well, if any of them are fulfilled, then I'll be happy to release them. Request/demand number 1: Ubisoft turns over a new leaf. Get rid of all the executives who've disrespected gamers. Replace them with people who respect and appreciate gamers. Stop using games and gamers as scapegoats for all the bad stuff out there. Most gamers are decent people who just want to be left alone to play their games in peace. Yes, it is true too much gaming's a bad thing, but you know what? Too much of anything is bad. The key is moderation. It's simple common sense. Also, something of note. These executives must give their teams creative freedom. There needs to be little to no executive interference. All too often, I've seen projects that had all the potential in the world get tanked, all because of too much executive interference. Give some creative freedom to your talent, and you'll get a better quality product. And now, 1.2, this is an important part. Get all the political activists out of there. No DEI or anything like that. No political nonsense. People should be hired based on their individual abilities and individual content of character. Hiring people based on race and gender, which really shouldn't matter, and hiring people based on their romantic preference? I'm sorry, but who someone sleeps with is really nobody else's business. Who should be hired are people with a fire and a passion for making good games. Again, it's all about forget modern politics. I just want to create good games. Games that have playability and replayability. Because, well, especially in this age when good games are so few and far in between, replayability is an important factor. We need games like that. Now, the second requirement would be this. Someone such as, say, Grums, Elon Musk, or someone with a genuine passion for gaming and gamers gets a hold of the franchise. Then I'll be happy to share my master plan, provided I'm made a partner for the project. I am a writer, and I want to get paid and get my fair share of credit. Yeah, I want to earn my fair share of money. I'm not overly greedy, but I do want to make a living. It's really that simple. And the third demand possibility is I somehow managed to get a hold of the franchise. Yeah, right. Then hire a good crew and release the game myself. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath on that one. So, in closing, the Ancients universe and Ashan do have some problems, but they can be fixed with a little ingenuity, and having a good team to help make a better Might and Magic game would help a lot. Because I'm not that good with computers, and I'd be more than happy to work with people who definitely know their way around computers. Any mixture of newbies who've got all the raw enthusiasm in the world, and wily veterans who've got that savvy. That mix could come up with something good, very, very good. And that's my thoughts on things. All right, now before I go, if you're looking for some great fiction writing, some fascinating movie reviews, or interesting commentary, come check out all my work on the free speech platform Minds. I've got a link to my Minds channel and my library in the description below. If you want, you can also follow me. You can also subscribe to me on Substack, or follow me over on Gab, MeWe, and X. If you'd like to support my work even more, you can do so by giving a tip to my PayPal tip jar, or becoming a monthly patron on Minds or Subscribestar for all kinds of great benefits. Or you can give a little something on X or Substack. Please only give what you can afford. I'll leave links in the description below. Well, until next time, this is Animeman73 signing off. Stay true to yourselves, stay classy, and God bless you all. See you next time!